Welcome to the Third Touch Soccer Podcast. My name's Sam Leamy.
So much projection.
There you go. I'm here with Michael McLaughlin and Connor Walsh.
Shut up. Yeah, I'm here. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
So it's Connor.
Yeah. We're so pumped. 2 days after the shitty USA game that happened on Friday evening. How's it going, lads? You recovered yet?
I'm doing okay.
How you doing, Mike? Recovered?
I don't like it. I'm not. I haven't recovered. I felt embarrassed.
Mike was texting us yesterday, like, we need to pod. Like, he has so much on his chest he needs to get off. Like,
Well, first of all, I'm mad at you two for many reasons.
we'll get into
Obviously.
it. We'll get into it on the air.
I don't know how inside the Third Touch Podcast we want to go on the Third Touch Podcast, but remove that out of the scenario. I wasn't prepared. First of all, I didn't have a fucking ticket, so I just went to hang out with you guys on this stupid grassy knoll American Outlaws party thing, which, let's be honest, when we first got involved in American Outlaws 6 years ago, Sam, we clowned them. We were like these soccer nerds. What do we do? And now they've actually built it into like this big,
Yeah, they're better
like
than us.
actual.
They're better than us.
They're better than us. Yeah.
That's what happens when you pursue a dream and are cool. And we're just
I don't
like,
know
you losers. Look at us.
But it definitely, but dude, so I get there, and this was cool, was that I didn't have a ticket. I also felt super embarrassed because I wasn't wearing any American stuff. I looked through all my closet, all my jerseys have beer stains on them. They're disgusting because I used to work at this bar where he would pour, every time we score a goal. So I have all my USA jerseys are shit. So I just came with a black shirt and jeans, and the moment I showed up at that grassy knoll with those 3,500 other fans, the tailgate party, I just felt mad embarrassed. That is when I bought a scarf.
Did you feel any better post scarf purchase?
I felt cool. I felt like, okay, I'm part of the group. I got the scarf. I'm part of the group. But later, when I was alone by
But you
myself,
still didn't have a ticket. Did you get the scarf after you purchased the ticket or before?
before if I did,
So what are you going to do? Run around Newark waving a USA scarf while the game's going on?
Mike just wanted to fit into our grassy hill party we had.
That's really my life, is just trying to fit in. But I brought some sheets of paper for all the show prep we were going to do.
Yeah.
Way to go, boys.
Uncut version.
Yeah, uncut version. And I ended up, and I was like, why not write a little sign that said need one ticket and just walk around? And so Connor and I were walking around, maybe 5 minutes?
Yeah, it was like probably the second person you talked to.
And I was just going, you know what? I was like, screw it. I'm just going to go on Craigslist. And then this guy, Kevin from Seattle, just leans in. He goes, you really need a ticket? I go, yeah. And he's like, I got an extra ticket. You want it? I go, where is it? He goes, it's in the AO supporters group. I was like, yeah. And I go, how much I got to pay? I'm thinking like 130, 140. He's like, $60.
Jeez.
Yeah, Mike had the best deal.
And what row was it?
Second row. We ended up being the second row behind the goal. Like,
Actually, I know exactly what row was it because I finessed this again.
Whatever. It's cool. No, we were so close to everybody. It's like they were making eye contact with us, like all the announcers and stuff. And Balboa was there with his goatee. He's handsome.
Yeah. Yes. No, we'll talk about that in a second. I know what you're about to bring up. But you did get a ticket. This guy, Kevin, absolute hero from Seattle. There was one condition, though, right, Mike? What was the condition?
I had to suck his dick. Listen, he's from Seattle. He says that's how it goes there. I don't know. No, the condition was I had to, basically hang out with him.
All right.
Well, I did feel bad for him.
Not really. That really wasn't a condition. His buddy is actually supposed to meet him there. He's from Houston, and obviously, Hurricane Harvey, his buddy couldn't come. Mm-hmm. So he was just there by himself. So he was like, I was like, yo, just hang out with us. And so he kind of rolled with us. But the only thing was, we all had different seats. So him and I were, by the time the actual game got close, it was just him and me hanging out. It was a little awkward, but we ended up making friends down there. And it was, once you start drinking a bunch of beers, then it kind of smooths all that over.
So, I mean, I started drinking pretty heavy straight away.
Of course
4 p.m.
Of course you did.
Connor was staying down in the city with his girlfriend. His girlfriend was there. And Mike, I mean, you weren't driving anywhere. But so you did get a ticket. That was great. I was excited. I was happy for you. But I mean, what did you think about the tailgate in the American Outlaws, Connor?
It was cool. I mean, I remember it was across the bridge from the stadium because apparently the American Outlaws email said that you cannot tailgate at Red Bull Arena. But when we showed up, it was the biggest tailgate party I've ever seen. There's flags.
It was probably the most organized tailgating party of
in the
any-
parking lot. Sorry.
Yeah, in the gravel pit.
It was
yeah.
sick. It was sick. There was Costa
Oh,
Rica.
even in the parking lot, there was a tailgate. I thought it was just
an
at the.
absolute
should've
party,
just stayed
bro.
there.
We should have just stayed there. But
That was
better than the actual.
probably. It was flat. There was cornhole. There was military men there. There was Costa Rican
why not go
flags.
there with you guys?
There was grills. There was there was.
we literally could have stayed at the car. But regardless, we were told this, and we made plans with everyone else we knew that were going to go to the American Outlaws tailgate, which was about a half mile, maybe a little bit less from the stadium, across the river. It was literally right across. You could see the stadium.
I mean, we still didn't have any beer, and we were running around from block to block.
Yeah, it was
so.
an absolute nightmare. Luckily, we found a little beer distributor. Shout out to Modelo. But no, the American Outlaws tailgate was sick. They were estimating 3,700 I saw, and it was probably right around there. I mean, when me and Mike were trying to find a ticket for him, it was like shoulder to shoulder crowd you had to push through. And I don't know, it was sick, and it was cool to see they organized that, and it was a fun time, and met up with all of our lads from the area.
So how did tailgating start? Because growing up in England, before every sporting event, we just go to the pub and it's a piss up.
Well, the problem is these stadiums a lot are in the middle of not in the middle of nowhere, but they're not like downtown like a lot of English soccer stadiums are.
I
or
think
like,
Yankees is the only stadium that you don't really tailgate because it's right in the Bronx, right? And you just go to stands.
A lot of baseball parks you don't tailgate at because they're in the middle of a city.
Okay.
But with football stadiums, and especially like SEC, like out like Alabama, whatever, these aren't even big cities. Or Green Bay.
Well, we went to
Buffalo,
Clemson
even
last
Buffalo
year.
Stadium is like 30 minutes. Yeah.
We went to the Clemson football game, and it's in the middle of nowhere, but the tailgate was like an absolute experience. It was lit.
Exactly.
Like, it was crazy.
Like people tailgate for a 4 p.m. game. Guys will pull up at 8:30 a.m. and just grill and barbecue all day for a 4 o'clock football game because. But if you are right, if the stadium was closer to the city, people would probably just go to bars.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, the Outlaws put on an absolute great event for all.
Yeah, it was impressive. They definitely needed like a permit to get that park rented. They had porta potties. The police were there to like.
And then every
watch.
once in a while, somebody would just jump up, like one of the guys in charge, and just scream out instructions. Like the parade is now moved 15 minutes later. We are leaving at 5:15. He screams it to everybody. Everybody chants back. It felt like I was at one of those Occupy. Occupy.
But they had to like close the bridge down for the march from the stadium. I mean, only one lane was open across the bridge. Like to organize all that is, you're dealing with some city officials.
Oh yeah, I just remember that march, and we were actually a part of it. I kind of blacked out.
Yeah, it was like 4,000 people walking across a bridge. I'm glad you remembered that, Sam. Sick. No, but it was cool. It was a lot of fun. We would have been okay just staying in the parking lot. But shout out to.
I probably wouldn't have got a ticket, so that wouldn't work out.
You went to the best spot to find a ticket.
Nice.
Costa Rica fans were lit walking through the city though when we were trying to find beer. It was like, it was like a real cool time.
The energy before the game was awesome. Getting in, me and Kevin got in the game. My new soccer friend. We got in the game.
Football friend.
We got in the game.
Fucking friend.
He's not my friend. I bought a ticket off of him. Nah, Kev, you're my boy. And but we got down the second row, right behind, and it was like an hour before kickoff. Mm-hmm. The energy was exciting, and I'm not even.
Well,
you're texting me.
You're texting. Yeah,
I'm always like, eh.
You're in there. You're texting me
thing.
like, you got to get in now. The line is crazy. The queue's crazy.
Because every time I would call you, be like, mate, the kickoff's not for another hour. I'm just gonna chill. I'll get in when I get in. Like you sound like you didn't even give a shit about seeing.
I was hammered, absolute hammered.
Yeah. Okay.
I was drinking rum straight from the bottle.
Yeah.
But then when you did get in, we snuck you down. We got you into you down.
Well, I had to get a wristband. You got these section wristbands, and I didn't go through the entrance that I should have gone through, and then I had to go to the back, kind of where everyone was coming in, and then I was like, I didn't get a wristband, and it was a different section, but we just finessed the
I there were like 3 or 4 ushers to go through, and I found the one 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, I know where we're going. Yeah. I'm gonna flash on my wristband. You're just gonna keep walking behind me, and when he tries to stop you, you just keep going with your head held high.
He did say something. He's like, "Oh, are you?" And then I wasn't even expecting like a grab on the shoulder. He's not gonna leave his post, is he?
Yeah. So. No. We pretended like we were having a great conversation. Yeah. We were like laughing and stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, Mike and I were 2 rows.
Can we talk about what happened before? Who we saw before we went in the stadium? stadium?
Oh yes. I stopped you.
Oh, I didn't hear about this part. I got a
Oh,
text.
dude! So we're walking from the car to the stadium, and there's like little stuff set up outside of a stadium, like they do at events. And there's this line, like not a crazy line, but a line, and the person on stage, some like hype man, is going up and down yelling, and it's like, "Yo, it's Jimmy Conrad" next to him, and people were waiting in line to take pictures with Jimmy Conrad, and we were like 10 people deep, all like bros. We were like all on the piss. And we're like screaming Jimmy Conrad, like I'm jumping up and down, like pumping my fist, and he sees us and waves, and we're like, yeah, just like going crazy. And then we get in line.
Yeah, because the majority of the people walking by had no idea who it was.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing a USA shirt. He was wearing let's say it was like an Audi event. And he was wearing like an Audi polo shirt,
like a backwards cap and
Yeah,
sunglasses. He looked like one of those, washed up celebrities who's just come back from the jungle and like, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. On those shows. That's what he looked like.
Yeah, but so we stood in line and we're like, we're gonna take this picture. Then we're like, all right, I'm not about to stand in line. So we literally just finessed the whole line and walked right up to the stage, and he dapped all of us up. I don't know if I wasn't in the picture. Were you in the selfie with him?
I thought you were.
No, I didn't. I wasn't in the selfie, unfortunately. But the other guys.
Have you seen the picture?
No, was it sick?
No, I haven't seen the picture.
Oh, we got to text Phil.
Yeah, so this did happen.
But dude, so
how much do you think he got paid for that?
I don't know, probably like $1,000 for an hour of work.
There's like agents say, yo, Jimmy, you gotta be outside the USA Costa Rica game. Just jump up and down, backwards cap.
Did you guys know that Stuart Holden and Alexi Lalas were in the American Outlaws section?
No.
Dude, 100%. Alexi Lalas tweeted a picture, and he was like, it was great to watch the game with the American Outlaws with Stu Holden, and there was the two of them chilling together in the Outlaws section.
Which section? There were 2 Outlaw sections, weren't there?
It was whatever one they were. I don't know, dude. They were in the section and for the whole game because Fox didn't have the coverage. It was
so it was ESPN.
But they're gonna be there anyway, as from a journalist side. So they were just in the Outlaw section for the whole thing.
Dude, I would like to know because did you guys watch the game on DVR later?
No, I've only seen what I watched.
Okay, I watched the entire game.
I've seen some highlights. I haven't seen it from start to finish.
I mean, before we get all into the fucking game and everything, before we one thing, soccer needs to have a longer halftime.
What?
Ooh.
Yes. No, it needs a longer halftime.
When you're at the stadium, you need more than 15 minutes.
Dude, I can't buy a round of beers for everybody. It was my turn to buy and go pee in 15 minutes. Dude, I had to quit trying to buy beer, and by the time I quit, I got up to the 4th person. I was like, this is fucking, and it was already the 59th minute. So I missed 14 minutes of play. Dude, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah. Well, I was running around. One beer run that I went on, I was running around. I found this one vendor, and she was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Anything now, quick!" Just like throwing all my credit cards at her.
Because you could just feel like the fun ticking away. You're like, I'm missing everything that I came here for, and it's so. Soccer. They need to have like beer guys going up and down the stadium, up and down the aisles.
I don't mind that. That's actually not a bad point, Mike. There must be something stopping it. It's not like you're the first person that's ever probably thought of that. You might be. Yeah. I mean, that'd be crazy, but you might be. But there's got to be some. I mean,
10 more minutes, 25 minutes, or they got to have people in the aisles because it's too much. I think in England, you guys just drink tea, right? You don't drink beer, right?
Yeah.
Well, they don't even sell beer in stadiums, right?
You're not allowed to drink in your seats at most of the stadiums.
You can drink in the concourse?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just hammering beers, but you just get
wasted before the game.
Yeah, before the game. Yeah. But yeah, there was and even some Champions League you can only drink Heineken because it's sponsored by Heineken.
That's the only. All right.
I don't mind that idea. 25 minutes. I mean,
25 minutes.
But when you cramp up? I mean, you're playing soccer for 90 minutes.
That's what I think it is. I think with soccer that they don't want to have them. Yeah. I think that's I thought about it for a while on the ride home.
Right. But no, when you're watching at home, 15 minutes is great. But when you're there, I literally didn't go pee at halftime because I was worried about missing the start of the second half. And it's
I missed him. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of bringing like a small pee bucket to my seat.
You would. That's good, Sam. You would think.
Degenerate.
Fucking.
I was thinking about it. It didn't happen. But anyway, on to the game, lads. On to the game. We'll start with the result. It was 2-0 to Costa Rica. That's 6-0 on aggregate. Are we looking at the USA are now the third best team in CONCACAF?
They've been the third best in reality since the last World Cup. It's hard for people to accept that, I think, in the U.S. fan base. But Costa Rica, in this World Cup qualifying cycle alone, they have put up that. Was it 4-1 the first leg and
4-0?
So it's 6-0 across 2 games.
But we did beat them in the Gold Cup 4-0.
We did beat them in the Gold Cup, but it's Gold Cup.
I will only accept that if the world says Costa Rica is a top 15 team right now.
They're ranked. I'm going to look up what they're ranked right now, but I believe they're there or thereabouts. They were.
They're just organized. They're better organized. They're much. They're back. What is it? Back there? Like a back 5.
Yeah, they were playing like a 5-2-0-1 or something, or no, I don't even know. But it was pretty. It was a pretty ugly game, and it was ugly from start to finish, and a lot of players had really poor performances. Jeff Cameron being one of them, Tim Ream being one of them.
I thought Tim was alright in the second half. Okay,
maybe a little improved. Nagby was bad.
Nagby looked great on the ball, but he never won the ball.
Well, dude, here was the thing: we played a pretty flat 4-4-2.
Costa Rica are 21st, by the way.
21st,
and USA are 26th.
Yeah.
And Mexico are 14th. And England are 12th.
Yeah, England 12th.
Going with the starting lineups, were you surprised by any with the starting 11 that USA started with? And we talked about the goalkeeper situation on the last podcast. I think Tim Howard was at fault for both of the goals. I've seen them again. Both of them.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are saying that. I can speak for me personally for the first goal. I was literally right behind the shot. No one had a better angle in the whole stadium than me to watch that whole thing, that whole shot happen. And he just, it looked like he was playing too far to the near post and just gave up the whole far post and maybe didn't get down quick enough.
Well, Tim Ream didn't even slide tackle. He played the guy square on, and it was just so easy to take him on.
He pushed him to the outside a little bit. He directed him.
Yeah, but he didn't cut him out far enough. He still got a shot away, and he didn't slide, and Tim Howard didn't dive. 3 things happened there.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and just point my finger at individual mistakes. It was a bad team performance, and it was a very poor tactical setup from Bruce Arena, I feel. How about 100%. You look at it. When I looked at the lineups, I was like, "Oh, Fabian Johnson's starting." I was like, "Oh, that's good. He's always been our best player the last 5 or 6 years." But then once you saw him play, it was like he wasn't. I don't think he beat. He looked slow.
Well,
to me, it didn't.
It's funny you said that. I had the Total Soccer Show on earlier today. Their review of the game, and that was one of the main things they talked about was that Fabian Johnson looked like he is very slow, and you can tell he hasn't played a lot of soccer in the last a year and a half. It's funny you bring that up because that was one of the main things that they said.
That's exactly, he just looked bad. And then all of a sudden I realized, damn, if we had maybe a Costa in the middle and then Nagby where Fabian Johnson was, it might have been a different result. And one other thing I want to talk about even bigger is, I want to do the Pulisic watch.
You did a real life Pulisic watch. We were right next
I really saw it and realized, I just realized we got to pull back.
Pull back. Pull out.
Yeah. He's too young. He's young. He's a kid. He's 18. And he even when they announced him, he was starting, the fans went, he got double the amount of applause than any other player, right?
Yeah. Oh, by a long
And then
shot.
he's in the game doing weird, just trying to score off half volleys from a 90-degree. With some bizarre how he tried to score a goal from the weirdest angle. I think there's way too much pressure on an 18-year-old kid to be the man for our team.
There's a lot of hope there, but the expectation's there. But great players handle expectation with ease, and he's not quite
18-year-olds.
He's not. David Beckham did.
Yeah.
Michael Owen did. Wayne Rooney did.
Beckham did.
No, David Beckham was a little bit older, but Michael Owen definitely did. As a 17-year-old kid, he danced through that Argentina defense in '98, Wayne Rooney blew up the scene. This is my era. This is what I remember. And I've seen Cristiano Ronaldo. Great players.
You know what I remember from my era? Was Jack Wilshere when he was 18. Blowing up the scene. Love you, Jack. Love watching you play under 23s.
So yeah, let's talk about Christian Pulisic as well. I mean, we were right there. We saw him the whole first half running at us, Mike. We were probably about 25 yards from everything that Christian Pulisic did in the final third there. What I spoke to on Friday night was it looked like he wasn't allowed to move out of this oval that Bruce Arena told him to. He wasn't going to the left. He stayed on the right the whole time. And, with the help of Zuzi on the right-hand side, Zuzi-Pulisic combination is,
Yeah.
It's raised the eyebrows at Bruce Arena, I think. And like I said,
Zuzi played his best game ever, I felt, for a right back. But how much better would Pulisic been with Yedlin making storming runs down the wing?
There was a few times where I think I remember one pass in particular where Bradley played like that 60-yard diagonal ball, thinking Zusi was going to make that run, and Zusi was chilling, like picking grass at the opposite 18, and the ball was like, it looked like a terrible ball, but Bradley doesn't even pick his head up because he expects his teammate to be there. Where if he's playing with the Yedlin, who's an actual right back who has played with Bradley, Yedlin might just know to be there, and Bradley doesn't have to see if he's there. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Well, what did you think of? Or what did you think about Pulisic's play?
I thought it was, and his worst game in a U.S. shirt was the away at Mexico, but it wasn't a bad performance from him. It just he didn't need to be great in that game. This was a game where he could have shown a little bit more, I think. The system we played did not help him at all. That very generic 4-4-2 is just he's not the type of player that can thrive in that type of system. He didn't play great. I think a few times on the ball he was trying to do not even a basic move, just like a quick step over and turn, and the ball was stuck under his feet. Because I was at the opposite end of Sam and Mike for the game, the exact opposite, and so I got to watch in the second half come at us, and a lot of times where he didn't play great, but he wasn't necessarily all his fault. I'm not going to put that.
The way the USA set up, they were extremely defensive, and at home, 25,000 bodies screaming at you on home soil. This is a game I feel Bruce Arena set up to draw the game, not lose the game, and they did. It was kind of a nightmare result, really, because the setup was very defensive.
It was crazy seeing the reaction afterwards, on Twitter from all the journalists and whatever. It was I said to my girlfriend after the game, and I was like, "Yo, that was maybe way worse than we realized. You're in the stadium, it was a bad game, but afterwards, and kind of sets in.
No, it was bad.
Well, yeah, it was bad. But once you start reading other people's opinion, qualified people that aren't hammered."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, dude.
You know what I mean? No, and they're like, yo, that was absolutely abysmal, and this was bad, and Arena was bad, and it's like, wow, maybe that was way worse than we realized.
Playing in New York, even the players get a little heightened, because even Bobby Wood played great, made great runs. But every one of his final balls was shit, off. It was almost like they were nervous or something.
It felt it looked like that team had never played with each other. They didn't know each other. They had no idea where anyone was going to go. They seemed very lost, and I don't know if that was pressure or I really don't know what it was. That's the first, I think, competitive home loss against Costa Rica for 17 attempts or something. I saw.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
And then when I left then, I was like, holy shit, Costa Rica, the whole system is set up way better than the United States. And I've been here for 8 years. I'm not as emotionally attached to the national team as you guys are. So when you left the game, how did you feel emotionally?
I was defeated. But after that second goal, at one point I was like, all right, let's just get a draw, 1-1. At least we get to see a goal. Like I said, the second half, they were attacking my end. I was like, it'd be cool if they score a goal in front of us, more or less. And that's what I wanted, was a draw. But once that second goal went in, I was like, I had my head in my hands. I swear to God, the rest of the game. It was I was absolutely defeated. It was bad.
I heard you celebrate with pizza and wings after the game.
Culture. I had to order pizza at the hotel.
No, I think if they had gotten 1-2, I think then the momentum of the stadium, because the fans, we just wanted to, we wanted to get loud. We wanted there to be something to cheer about. But we didn't. There were like 6,000 Costa Rican fans making like double the amount of noise, than the 21,000 American fans.
This has been the biggest talking point after the game that I've seen is the fan split and the stadium selection. From being in the stadium, what did you guys think the actual split was in fans?
I would say, yeah, what Mike just said, 6,000 Costa Rica fans.
I think it was more. No,
I think they were just. You gotta understand, man. They just qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah, that was a huge result for them. That you could see. I watched the replay of the goals, and the players' emotion showed.
Oh, the second goal, the whole team celebrated.
Navas runs up to Arena, and the coaches come over, and they're like, "This is it. We've just qualified for the World Cup next summer." Although not mathematically, but that was huge for them. And I feel like when I left that game, I was like, "Holy shit." Have the USA regressed since I've been here, or have they progressed? Or have just Costa Rica and Mexico just got better?
I mean, Costa Rica's definitely improved in the last 5 years, they went from being a Trinidad and Tobago to now the second best team in CONCACAF, and a very, very competitive team. And they showed that in the 2014 World Cup. They were the best CONCACAF team in that World Cup.
But dude, like the fans, like that's, if we had gone, say 10,000 Americans go down to 100. Well, how much does the Azteca seat? 100,000 or something? Some crazy number, right?
So go with that.
If we were about 10% or 12% of the stadium, and the U.S. won 2-0, like the fans would be so those small fans would be so loud. But in comparison to the quiet, it made it feel like, what is it, like half the crowd? But it really wasn't.
Dude, I don't think it was half, but from being right next to that Costa Rica section, it was the entire third of this. It was the third of the stadium. Honestly, from what I saw, I was around more Costa Rica fans than USA fans, and my estimate would be a third of the stadium because I could see the whole USA scene. And then I know you guys can see Costa Rica too, but I was in it and I was looking behind me and around, and I was like, there was a few moments in that game where between the American Outlaws and the general USA fans and then the Costa Rica fans, the atmosphere was like unbelievable at a few times where I like mentally said to myself like, yo, this is like a crazy thing to be going to right now. Like it was I don't know, it was sick.
Well, no, that's one of the things I want to talk about seeing, because we were talking about it earlier. Like I've never been to a real competitive USA match. I've been to friendlies, I've been to warm up World Cup qualifiers. Connor, you said you've been to the Gold Cup once or twice, right?
Yeah.
But to be at Costa Rica, which is, like you said, probably the second best team, or maybe even the best, really, CONCACAF team, at home in a World Cup qualifier, that was the biggest game. I don't know if I'll ever be at a USA game, competitive game like that ever again.
World Cup 2026.
Yeah, hopefully.
You'll still be alive.
Drinking, yeah, hopefully. The drinking and the partying, shut up, and the tailgating and all that, man, it got you so revved up that when we did lose, I had an emotional reaction.
Like sat in. It was like, it's cool and all to drink and pre-game, but there's an actual game, like an important game happening today.
But that's what I'm saying. I never understood soccer culture to the point of maybe, like fighting and all that shit. I don't get it. I still don't get any of that, really. But that feeling of like defeated and like being like really like, this can't be the end of my night.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Bro, I was like distraught and furious. Like I was,
and then I couldn't find you guys. And then when you finally call me back, both of you are in cars going home, and I'm just stranded by myself in Harrison, New Jersey, wandering around.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a second.
That was the best part of the night.
It's the best part of the night, but because of the game, I remember calling you guys and like cursing out, and I could hear myself.
Fuck the podcast, fuck this, you fucking asshole. What you doing? I thought we're partying, bro. I was like, no, fuck, we gotta fucking fight. We gotta fight some Costa Rica.
Dude, I wanted to fight something. I was like, I get it now. I get how soccer kind of give that, because everyone's putting so much emotion in outwards, and whatever the way the game is, and the national, whatever the nationalism comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I can attest that a little bit. Every time England lose on penalties in a major tournament, every time Man United go out in the Champions League, a vital stage, I've just had this sense of, numbness I feel in my body. It's like, it sucks. And then I think to myself, it's just a game, Sam. It's just a game. It's just a game. And then life goes on. And you went through that.
It's more than a game, bro. It's soccer.
It is, but it's just like it gives you so much, and when it doesn't give you that joyful moment, it's like your ex-girlfriend cheating on you, or your current girlfriend cheating on you.
I've seen you 2 times after your girlfriends have cheated on you, and no, I've seen you 2 times after England's got knocked out of the World Cup, and both times you were behind the bar we worked at. And distraught, smoking cigarettes, like almost wouldn't even want to hear an American accent try to console you. You know what I mean? Like you just don't even want, like, dude, it was a good game, but bro, like, fuck it. You're like, get the fuck away from me. And it was just like you and Mark and a couple other English guys. You guys
I
go
remember
cry.
the 2010 World Cup when Germany just turned us over, and it was like, okay, it was 2-1 at halftime. The Lampard thing happened, and then it was just like goal, and then as soon as that
VAR, dude.
The fourth one went in.
Should have been VAR there, dude.
I think Mark was working behind the bar and he just left the bar. He was like, I can't fucking deal with this shit. And I remember we sat on a picnic table at the back of
I think I jumped in. I just started working even though I was there.
No, you tried to console us and we're like, fuck you, Mike, get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't even know. You know, that was when you were first getting into footy, so.
I was like, Algeria game. Remember?
Before we move on, if that's what you're about to do, Sam, can I just ask you guys your opinion? Goes along with the whole crowd situation. Do you think U.S. soccer is somewhat responsible for scheduling that game? I mean, my homie from college that lives in New Jersey, and he was like, bro, I was texting him. He's like, bro, I cannot believe they're scheduling that game there because it's all Costa Ricans that live in that area. And I was like, really? He goes, bro, wait till you see, man. And he's like a kid that just lives in New Jersey. He's a soccer fan. He's like, it is going to be a lot of Costa Rica fans. And I know that U.S. Soccer wants to sell tickets and guarantee a good atmosphere, but at what point are they going to start doing like an away end where you have, 1,000, 2,000 seats allocated for strictly Costa?
There was next to you.
There was one
bro,
up
it was
there.
An absolute free for all. It wasn't just a section where they're fighting, where it's hard to get tickets. It was the entire third of the stadium was Costa Rica fans. Is U.S. soccer in any way responsible? I know it comes down to the players, it comes down to the management, but is scheduling a game in a place like that where
I think you're playing with fire anytime you schedule a game around New York City.
I mean, dude, we were getting olayed.
I mean, people will come. Even people would travel. Like if you're a fan, why wouldn't you make a weekend out of it to go visit New York City and then go watch the game? That makes.
But just hearing us get olayed,
I kind of feel sorry for the Costa Ricans.
That was
hearing us getting olayed at home was. That was like the lowest point of the night for me, and it happened a few times.
I mean, as you two know, I've been to Costa Rica a few times, and I feel sorry for the Costa Rican fans who traveled from Costa Rica. They've get on the airport in San Jose. They land in Newark and they look around and go, "What the fuck? I thought this is New York City." And they go to Harrison, New Jersey, and they're, "What the fuck? This is like worse than back home. What's happening?" I don't know. I don't know the process of where games should be and what times, and I don't know who chooses that. It's obviously
it's strictly the federation because everyone else plays in one stadium for the most part. There's no hopping around. We have a big country. We like to spread the wealth out.
Well, we're trying to develop fandom.
Do they think
exactly
they knew the demographics of the Costa Ricans in there? And they must have.
Bro, if my drunk friend from New Jersey knows the demographics of Harrison, New Jersey, then I think U.S. Soccer, I'm sure there's a lot of research and there's a lot of money involved. They knew what was going on there.
I thought it was a great atmosphere.
Oh, I loved it. I loved
the diversity around, like Mike said, New York City is huge. And yeah, play with fire. I don't think that's the right word, but I feel you're going to gain that diversity at the stadium no matter where you play in and around New York City.
Well, I think they've if the
I'm gonna
game.
Get a salsa.
Yeah, no, you're like play with hot Latina fight. I'm like, whatever. Listen, what I was saying.
Pura Vida.
What I was saying that if they had the game at the Meadowlands, holy fuck, there would have been a hell of a lot more Costa Ricans there because the tickets would have been way cheaper, and they're poor. No, I was kidding. No, they're way cheaper. That was a joke, but I'm saying there's not that many USA fans to fill out a 75, 80,000 seat stadium in New York City.
Every home game in Cleveland, Ohio? Go to Alaska, Anchorage.
Yo, footy away days, Anchorage edition, huh?
Well, anyway, that being said, Costa Rican fans were actually awesome. They were like mad cool. Like, they were
sick. They were all great.
They're awesome. They're like by far
Well, I was
cool.
throwing my tattoo around on the way to the stadium. I was like, boys, I'm undercover, Pura Vida. And they're like, that guy's like kind of Spanish, Asian, English. He's weird. Anyway.
But, I mean, I guess, like, where did you want to put the game? Seattle? I mean...
Well, that's
we
the
could have
thing.
all our games in Seattle and Portland, and just
The result was,
we would probably do
the result was
so.
the result was so bad that we're questioning everything, and that they can win in Harrison, New Jersey at Red Bull Arena. I mean, the field that was my first time in that stadium, and after watching it for years on TV, be 25% full. Dude, that is a beautiful stadium, and watching seeing it full, like that is a very impressive
it's
venue.
A great stadium. Yeah, I mean, no matter where they played on Friday night, I don't think the outcome would have been much different. I mean, yes, the home advantage side of it has. I
actually think if you did my one change, I think USA wins handily. I do. I think you put in.
Come on.
No, I swear, if you put in Kellen Acosta in the middle.
I thought you meant if you play as Seattle, they're winning. Right.
Oh no. I'm saying if you had a bossy midfielder and then Bradley right behind him, and then Pulisic up top with Nagby, I really do think that would have changed a lot. Changed the outcome possibly.
Yeah. I think I blame Bruce Arena for that tactically, and even he said he came out after the game. He's like, "Yeah, it was my fault. I just got it all wrong today." And that's the first defeat under Bruce Arena since he's took charge of the national team. Since his, what do you think? What are we going to take away from this game? What are you guys going to take away from this game as USA fans?
I mean,
USA fans.
Be honestly, I'm more into the team now than I've probably ever been as a fan.
Oh, dude, going to games, it just like refreshes every aspect of your fandom. It's like healthy
and
to
you
go
guys,
to games.
You did leave me alone in Harrison, right? And I was wandering the streets because I couldn't get on the train. The line was so long to get on the train back. I was like, I can't fucking do that right now. So I just wandered by myself.
Well, let's tell the listeners what exactly happened. Mike and I were bouncing around from section to section in the second half. We finally find a couple of friends. We go to the corner flag. Everyone's dejected. Mike at the 88th minute, it was 6 minutes after the second goal went in. He was like, I'm going for a piss. I was like, all right. I wasn't driving. My other friend, his name's Connor, he works with us. He was driving. He was kind of agitated by the whole thing. He had a bad experience in the first half. He was like, I've got to go back to Albany. I wasn't going to wait around for Phil and those guys because they were waiting around at Five Guys for like 2 hours to sober up. So he was like, let's go. I leave the stadium. I just get a phone call off Mike just bitching nonstop. Like, fuck you. I'm fucking done with the podcast. I thought we were going to a strip club. I thought we were partying tonight. I thought we were getting all these women and shit.
I didn't want to go to strip club, by the way.
Mike, I said that as a joke. I was scared of you. I was scared.
Oh, Mike called me, and I'm outside of the stadium, and it was so loud outside. People were chanting, cars were beeping, police sirens.
I'm gonna get some salsa.
And then Mike calls me, and I couldn't hear him, and all I heard was, "I'm done with the podcast. I'm done." And I said to him, like, bro, I literally don't know what you're saying. I'll call you tomorrow and we'll talk about it.
Which was the most annoying thing. Like, dude, we'll talk tomorrow about it. Chill out. I was like, fuck tomorrow. I was so mad.
Bro, I literally couldn't hear you, though. Genuinely couldn't
Sam
hear
couldn't fucking wait for me to go back to my buddy Kev. Shout out to Kev in Seattle. And pick up my hoodie because I left my hoodie next to Kevin.
After?
I looked for him, but Kev left me too. Because I grabbed my hoodie that I left there and then was wandering around. Leaving a stadium alone after a loss, it's not fun.
Can I read out?
It's not fun.
Can I read
I had
out?
to leave the whole place on myself.
Can I read out the real text, or are you just going to tell us the whole story, the aftermath, what happened?
Real text? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what ended up happening.
Go.
And then what?
No, you tell us.
All right, then I'm fucking. So I'm like, fuck this, and I'm leaving, and then I'm trying to calm down, but. You have both of those energies.
This is the most explicit episode we've ever had, by the way.
I don't really curse. Yeah, you know what? Put it on that. Let the parents know, because I know a lot of dads play this or whatever. So then I make that long walk to the train station. Yo, you get to this train station, dude. It is 4 city blocks of maybe 5 people deep of just waiting to get into the station. I'm like, there's no way I'm sitting in this line by myself right now. So I just started wandering around looking for a bar to sit. And there's no bars there. So I'm going up to the gas station attendants. I'm like, hey, do you know what a bar? He's like, man, get away. And I'm like, all right. And I'm walking around. Finally, I find a bar. And and I wait for a beer. They never serve me, and fuck this, I leave. And then where I find out, I go to Five Guys. I go into Five Guys, I order some food, I go sit down, I'm eating my fries, and I'm like cursing at my fries. I'm so mad. And then I turn around, and who's there but all your boys, Phil and all those guys. Yeah. And so I say what's up to them. I'm like, what up? And I'm like, where's Sam? They're like, oh, I don't even want to hang out with us. I was like, fucking Sam, what the fuck out.
They were down. He's been drinking all weekend. He went to Pearl Street Pub yesterday, and he went down to the Yankee game today. But yeah, I've got a series of texts from you on that Friday night. It was like, okay, it was like friendly. It was like, oh, where are you? Come meet with us. You know, I'm in section 102. I was in 132. And then at 8:49, a text from Mike McLaughlin. We should go to a strip club. Don't leave. And then yeah, I'm not gonna explain the race, but I'm glad you got home, and I'm glad you got over the emotion of the loss.
Mike, are we still friends?
What I want. You know, it's all good. It's all fine. But you know, I wanted to hang out a little bit after the game and talk about the game, like just hang out at Five Guys. It's like, you know what I mean. I don't really know those guys too well to sit down and like chat, but just to be like wandering the streets like a. You know, I bummed a cigarette off to some guy. I don't even smoke cigarettes. I just bummed a cigarette off a guy. He's like, man, you need it? I was like, yeah. And I was like smoking. I was smoking walking around by myself. I asked this Asian couple if there was a bar around there because they were walking a dog. I'm like, you must live around here. Is there a bar around here? They're like, no.
Did someone
I was
flick
like,
you a couple of quarters your way?
I was like, God bless you, God bless you.
you caught it and gave him a wink. But anyway, realistically, after the game, I mean, the table situation... It's not disastrous, but it's not great.
It's concerning. It's actually very
good. We're back to concerning because you have Mexico and Costa Rica 1 and 2 respectively. Mexico on 17 points plus 8 goal difference after 7 games. Costa Rica now on 14 points from 7 games plus 7 goal difference. USA and Honduras come 3rd and 4th in the Hex. USA with 8 points plus 1 goal difference. And Honduras on 8 points also, but minus 7 goal difference. Next game, Tuesday, 5:30. It's in Honduras. And Honduras are coming up.
What are the fixtures right now? The 3 coming up. Exactly. Do we know the exact fixtures home and away?
Yes. You're going to have Honduras away on Tuesday. And then on next month, it's USA at home against Panama, and then USA away against Trinidad and Tobago. So the top two, you've done the Mexico and the Costa Rica fixtures, home and away. The game on Tuesday is huge, is absolutely vital. If you lose that game, there is serious concern that the US may not qualify for this World Cup.
It has to be a minimum of a draw, which is attainable, but it's. I saw the table.
I'm starting to think we play better with one striker. Anyway, I'm starting to think we play better as a counter-attacking team when we need results. With Pulisic on the right.
And just one note for our listeners is that Josie Altidore is not eligible to play Tuesday night due to yellow card suspension from.
There was a lot of yellow cards. Dempsey's reaction towards the end of the game. Maybe he starts in Honduras. Up top.
It was good to see Dempsey play. I was so excited when Dempsey came on the field Friday night. I was like yelling, like screaming, like
he had that free kick.
That was hype.
Well, Honduras are going to go all out for this game because they do play Costa Rica away and Mexico at home, so they have the harder run in. Don't rule out Panama as well. They're sitting on 7 points, minus 1 goal difference, and they, they're still in the mix. Trinidad and Tobago and Sol Campbell look like they're out of the group so far.
Yeah, well, Panama they played Trinidad and Tobago already this past cycle, right? Yep. Or no.
That's where
they're playing them Tuesday night. They're at home against Trinidad, away against the United States, as Sam mentioned, and then home against Costa Rica.
I'll be very surprised if we get a win in Honduras. It's a really hard place to play. And the fans are super. No, but the fans are so like aggressive down there. So I would be very surprised if we get a result.
Intense
those
atmosphere.
are the games we should go to. We should just do a weekend in like.
Well, that is the way, dude.
That would be sick. Yeah.
It's easy to do it through the American Outlaws. You buy your package to them, and it's your flights, your hotel, and your game is all together.
Yeah, but I don't want to be organized. I want to slum it. I want to get like a shitty flight, stay in a shitty hostel, go to a shitty bar, and mingle with the locals. No.
Bro, I'll die in Honduras, bro.
Pura Vida, whatever.
Yeah, it's not pure life in Honduras.
I would do it. I would actually do it if you want to make a plan for
Tuesday.
Want to go to Trinidad? That'd be pretty dope.
Tuesday.
Beach. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it sucks that our first competitive game that we went to was a loss, and my attachment isn't as strong as you guys, so I can only know how how bad you guys feel.
Yo, 73% humidity Tuesday night. Feels like 106 with a 73% humidity. That's the weather.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal.
Oh, and they're playing at 5:30 p.m. That's a
3:30 local time is crazy.
Oh, they're really making.
Yeah, they're going for it, man. They're making it as hard as possible for the U.S.
Talking about hot, moving on to Wayne Rooney's girl on the side.
Hey,
Wayne Rooney had an interesting weekend. Retired from international duty last week. What happened with Wayne Rooney this weekend, Connor?
He cheated on his wife and slammed some pints and drove home and got arrested.
Hopefully we don't get reference on this. I mean, we're not source.
This is you have to say alleged.
No, dude, it's proven fact. No, it's fact. I was reading the articles an hour ago with Sam. The girl
alleged that he
the judge that he was with talked to talked to Rooney's wife. They've talked about it.
Right?
Yeah, and
apparently she stormed out the house with the kids today. Or yesterday, right?
Yeah, something. Kids are just gone. She's pregnant too. Dude, Rooney. What do you...
Where's Rooney doing? He just flew to Miami, hang out with Tiger?
He's hammered, bro. He's buying drinks for Calvert-Lewin for giving him a few assists.
So is this one of the reasons why he retired from international duty, do you think? Or do you think it's just a kind of career coming to the end?
If I'm an Everton fan, I'm genuinely concerned because Rooney has completely mailed it in, bro. He does not. He just wants to be hammered, dude.
No, he's been playing great though. He's playing great.
His wife's about to leave him.
I think he's not good. He doesn't handle success well. He just likes to, he gets a couple goals. He just wants to go booze up.
We're not calling him a George Best here. He's not like alcoholic. He's not Nicolas Cage out of Leaving Las Vegas. He's not that. He's not waking up every morning sipping vodka out of a bottle.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's got an alcohol problem. What do you think? I feel. I mean, Paul Merson said some of the best games he played, he doesn't even remember.
And that
was that like?
In the mid-90s, early to mid-90s.
I wonder if he's drunk on Sky Sports because some of his opinions are shocking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Merce.
But yeah, interesting weekend for Wayne Rooney, but. Concerns for USA.
Concerns for the Rooney family.
Where are you going to be for the game? Are you working?
I will probably be. Actually, I'll be. Actually, I don't know yet because it's at a weird time for me.
Probably a strip club.
I'm not really sure. Obviously, probably strip club. That's where I like to go. That's where I want to be if we win or lose. I want to be in a strip club. So I don't have to text my buddy, we going? I'm already there. I'm not going to go anywhere. So.
Yeah, just watch the game in a strip club.
Yeah.
But anyway, final takes on the USA game. I mean, was that the worst performance USA have had under Bruce Arena? Are we going to say that?
Clearly. I mean, ever?
I think it's a little unfortunate. I think it's a little unlucky. I mean, there were definitely some goals that we could have had in the first half. Pulisic had that shot was saved, miraculous save by Navas. I think we really could have at least gotten a draw there with that bad performance. I think it was a little mix of unluckiness and a bad performance.
I think it was a brutal performance. Pulisic had that Keylor Navas had that really nice save where he reached back. I don't think Pulisic was that the same. We're talking about the same moment.
Pulisic had a shot, it got deflected, then Navas had to have like a weird reactionary save. Yeah, second half. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
and then there was Josie Altidore had a nice little shot.
I couldn't even remember any shots on target, but I looked up today.
It wasn't like a clean shot on target. Like that's gonna be a goal, nice save. It was all very.
Yeah, there was a fan. There was no like oohs and ah moments, were there at all? It was all like
no.
It got so bad that
there's a lot of
Well, it got so bad that every time literally USA passed midfield and it had like a touch of pace, the entire stadium stood up. Because you guys were standing the whole game. My section was sitting, so we stood up every time.
That's why Pulisic
got the ball and took 2 touches past midfield into space.
Yeah, Pulisic it was like every time he touched the ball, he's got the ball. I felt like it actually it's almost like a weird type of pressure. Not that there was pressure, but it's like, I am going to do something, but there's 3 guys around you. Bobby Wood's wide open. I just don't think they played well. As him being the man or the star of the team, it's a lot of like it. Even as fans, we're a lot of watching him rather than hoping we get a goal.
I have one picture on my phone. It's a zoom picture of Pulisic's butt on my phone.
You can sell that for good money on the internet.
Yeah.
Child porn. No, but you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like when you're playing with a team on FIFA just because you like one player, so you force everything through that one player and you lose.
That was
but I had that one goal with Bale, but you still lost.
Yeah, that was you. Yeah, Bale every time. You knew it was Bale, and you knew Mike was going to cut in on his left foot and do a finesse shot in the top corner. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, England won 4-0. They topped the group. Big game against Slovakia on Tuesday. Not going to get into that. But the surprise result I thought of the weekend was, today, France drew at home to Luxembourg, the superstars of France, against the minnows of Luxembourg. Couldn't break them down. Mbappe and co. Did you watch the game?
I had it on at work. I had the Greece-Belgium game on. I had Portugal-Hungary on.
Shout out to Belgium, the first European team to qualify for the World Cup, Roberto Martinez.
Yeah, I had the sound on for Portugal-Hungary, and those Hungary fans were...
What do you think about Roberto Martinez? My bad, sorry.
No. I was just saying the atmosphere at the Hungary-Portugal game was sick. The Hungary fans were up for it. It was loud.
I mean, Pepe,
loud.
for everything he's done in his career, deserved that elbow to the face. Yeah. He really did, but that was the most blatant elbow red card I've seen in recent memory. That was crazy.
Yeah, and then the France-Luxembourg game. I wasn't watching that closely. I did have it on, though, at the bar. How did France look? Did you see any of that, or...?
It was like Arsenal 2010, 2011 when they tried to walk the ball into the goal every time, but normally they would score. They did hit the bar and post, Mbappe and Pogba. But honestly, I mean, Luxembourg, they just lost. Yeah. I mean, France just beat Netherlands on Thursday 4-0, and they couldn't beat Luxembourg at home. Did they waste I mean, Lamar didn't play today.
Oh, one thing. I was going to say one thing, not to sidetrack you, but what are your guys' thoughts just surrounding the transfer market from last week? I know I didn't even really prepare for that at all, but I just talking about Lamar made me think of that.
I think players have a lot of power now in this transfer window. We saw a lot of big names we thought they were going to move. Coutinho, Mahrez. Clubs are kind of telling them, hey, you're going to see out your contract. I don't care. Sanchez didn't even go. His club career is up in the air. I think the loss of Oxlade-Chamberlain, I know you think it's a big loss for Arsenal.
I don't think it's a big loss.
I really don't.
I think in principle, it's just a sign of the times at Arsenal that another young English player has been sold or isn't developing. And I was really upset about the Oxlade-Chamberlain signing. And again, he scored 6 goals in 9 years.
I think it was a principle thing. And 5 days prior to the transfer window closing, all the fans were saying sell the whole team. So that's what Arsenal were doing. They were selling the whole team or trying to sell the whole team.
No, they definitely had players they needed to trim off. Players like Oxlade-Chamberlain who are good, but they're not contributing the most. And it was sad to see that actually materialize. And don't want to get into Arsenal, but the Thomas Lamar situation on Thursday, I'm on my phone. I was on Twitter all day. I love deadline day. I was on Twitter all day, and I saw that Arsenal had bid $92 million. I saw that it was accepted, and then as soon as it's accepted, they withdraw the bid, and it was just like
it was weird.
It was really
the Ross Barkley one was weird as well, where he agreed, he passed a medical at Chelsea, and then just went back on it.
Well, he said he didn't do a medical for any club at all. He just said he put something on Instagram or released a statement. He's like, I've never done a medical for another club, so that was completely made up of the media.
Right. But still, Chelsea are still interested in Ross Barkley. They did get Danny Drinkwater for how much? 40 million?
Something like that.
Absolute crazy money.
Yeah, Llorente went from Swansea to Spurs.
Boney went back to Swansea to replace that. I think that's pretty good.
Maybe an upgrade, honestly, a younger player.
Yeah, Llorente's 32. And Pulisic went to Man United, but we're not going to talk about that. No, he didn't. Really.
I was before the game. I was going around like, this is going to make $200 million transfer. I was like telling people he's going to be a first $200 million transfer.
But Emery Moore did go to
Celta Vigo,
and
not just on loan, a straight up 4 or 5 year deal, which maybe Dortmund didn't think that he fit into their developmental plans, and I think with a new manager who does understand young talent, it obviously, in his eyes, wasn't going to work out. But a player that was competing with Pulisic for time last year has just been sold to a mid-level Spanish club. It was a surprising move.
I know you guys. I know we're wrapping up, but what would you think about this prediction? Roberto Martinez being the next head U.S. men's national coach.
Maybe. Still young enough. And everyone questioned how he got the Belgian job, taking those crop of players and managing them. But he's done what has been expected for the national team, the first European team to qualify for the World Cup. Can't ask more than that. Breeze through the group stages. All depends on, I think, his reputation is going to be based not on the qualifying campaign, but what they do at the World Cup. Because the last World Cup, they were they number one, I think.
Number one in the world.
Yeah, number one in the world. No one really expected them to win, but they were one of the favourites. When it comes to the World Cup, you're always looking at the big boys. And
they have a team that is older and more mature, and it's the same exact crop. They haven't lost anyone, really. I mean, Vincent Kompany maybe, but he's kind of been irrelevant for a little bit now. I don't know. Maybe why not?
Well, I know I just know he lives in America, right? He likes it here.
He did the ESPN stuff when he wasn't doing the international stuff during the summer for the World Cup. One thing I was thinking about, because yes, Belgium was the first team, but Russia have qualified by default as the host nation. Mm-hmm. So they're not even playing World Cup qualifiers. They're just playing randomly scheduled friendlies. Do you think that affects your World Cup preparation as far as the hype building as a team unit working together to make that event? Because I was just thinking with the U.S. most likely getting the 2026 tournament here, we're talking about World Cup qualifying now.
There's going to be 3 Gold Cups in between, so that'll be fine.
Well, I just mean like that process of qualifying.
It definitely is, and FIFA recognized that with the holders always getting an automatic qualification to the following World Cup, and that was scrapped, I believe, like 2 or 3 World Cups ago.
So you're saying the holder of World Cup A gets automatic qualification to the next World Cup?
Yes, Germany won the last World Cup, but they were still made to go through a qualifying process this time around. When Brazil won it in '94, they didn't have to qualify. They didn't have to go through a qualifying process to get into '98.
Because I wonder what the effect that has on a.
I think it does. I think it definitely
probably
does.
For negative, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you need that team cohesion. When England won the World Cup in '66, Sir Alf Ramsey didn't change his team for, I think it was like 5 years. It started in 11. There was no subs then, but that cohesiveness before.
No subs.
There was no subs in '66. You couldn't sub.
Who was on the bench? Just players that weren't selected? There was a bench, right? Like you had guys that were available to play the next game?
The next game, yeah, but you couldn't. There was no substitutions back then.
They walked uphill both ways on the way to the goal.
But talking about, there's someone younger that just joined Dortmund, Mike. He's younger than Pulisic, and he's English. Any worries there for Pulisic's starting position? You heard of this guy?
What's this kid's name?
Jadon Sancho.
Jadon
Sancho from
what?
Man City. They just signed him for $8 million. He was the star at the under-17 Euros this summer. 5 goals in 6 games.
Well, have fun on the reserve squad. We'll see you in 2020.
I like it. You tell him, Mike. You tell him, bro.
I'll tell you, son, kid. There's 1 star at Dortmund right now. 1 star only. Even Aubameyang's got to step down because he knows the pulley god's coming through.
All right.
Did you hear about that Ben Woodburn kid from Wales that scored that golazo?
Yes, I did see that goal. Yeah.
Mike, you see this? That 17 or 18-year-old that plays for Liverpool that scored the 73rd minute winner for the senior team Wales yesterday. Goal. It was a nice goal against Austria. This crowd was lit though. It was like because all these Welsh clowns are saying that he's like the same caliber of players like a Ryan Giggs or Gareth Bale, which either Wales has players of that caliber, or they have nothing players.
What about
Aaron Ramsey?
He's the worst soccer player I've ever watched in my life.
It's good for Wales.
Yeah, because I don't want to talk about Ramsey. I'm fed up enough with
honestly, I was saying about back to Pulisic though. I don't. I just think that he's in a really good space, and I think that it's good to have competition. So maybe this kid will come in.
It's an exciting year for him now that Emery Moore's gone.
Yeah,
and Dembele's gone.
And I texted you guys that this is like slowly becoming more and more his team, or at least he has a much bigger role with Dembele leaving, and I think Emery Moore just straight up shows that Dortmund is going to move forward heavily with Christian Pulisic.
And I think when Royce comes back, takes a little bit of the pressure of it. It even probably helps Pulisic out even more, because I do think what I said about the game is that sometimes you want to be the guy, not the number one guy when you're 18. You want to be the young kid, the number two option or something. Where it's a little bit less. When the ball gets in your feet, the whole crowd's like, "This is our only chance."
Yeah. But if he wants to take it to the next level, obviously as an individual, if he wants to be that superstar, and if he wants to. Sorry, my kid's talking. Hang on. Go.
All right. Well, we're almost wrapping it up anyway.
We'll finish up.
Okay. All right. Yeah, if he wants to take it to the next level and be that superstar, he's not. I don't think has one of those egos where he needs to be the superstar on the team, but the American public expect him to be that superstar because they've just lost Donovan.
Dude, he's funny on Instagram. Like, he was bantering with the U.S. players on, like, his Instagram stories. It's funny. It's just cool to see him, like, fitting in. He was, like, roasting Jeff Cameron and stuff. It was, I don't know.
What, his facial hair?
Nah, I forgot he was making fun of him before. It was funny, though, but it's just cool seeing him as one of the senior lads, I guess, if you will.
He's very confident, and I don't think... I think that games like that actually going to help him in the long run.
Yeah,
Disappointments help. This whole game might have helped us in the long run anyway. It's it's better to know this now that you can't put Nagby and Bradley in the midfield against good opposition. You gotta, you need somebody stronger back there. And,
it all depends on, I think, the scenario, what kind of result you want to go for. I think they just played for a draw and it just totally backfired. It was way too defensive. I mean, you saw Costa Rica straight from kickoff, like lump it forward. I think one of their centre backs was in.
Yeah, no, that was
I saw one guy just bowl. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, they sent Wacko Jr. running forward. Was it Gamboa? No, Gamboa's in the midfield. Regardless, yeah, they sent a centre back right off the rip.
And I think Rodney Wallace didn't come on for Costa Rica. He was on the bench.
Yeah, he didn't play.
But overall, disappointment for the USA. Hopefully they can bounce back on Tuesday night. Predictions for Tuesday, Mike?
I think, I don't know, 1-1, hopefully.
It's always any game in Central America, the prediction is always 1-1.
There's a 1 somewhere. It's always... I'll say 2-1 United States, maybe 1-0 United States.
I'm going to say 3-1. 3-1 United States.
I like that, Sam.
On Tuesday night.
I like that.
All right.
Need to bounce back big. They'll come out the blocks, all fired up. But thanks again,
Sounds
guys. Again, always tweet us out at Third Touch. We're on Instagram Live. No, we're going to be on Instagram Live.
We are on Instagram. We're not live. We are recording.
We're going to be on Instagram Live soon.
We got to work it out.
But yeah, thanks, guys.
Rate, review.
Thanks, Mike, for joining us. Thanks for taking time out of your strip club activities to be with us here on a Sunday night. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I got it.
Hi, Terry Gavin.
Yeah, Jesus Christ! I don't go to strip clubs. All right, he just mounts. He said, "All right,
I don't go to strip." He doesn't. I've never been to a strip club with Mike ever. I never have. No. Oh, in Newquay once. We did once.
Yeah, in Newquay,
and it was just weird. It was just like weird. Like the girls were just like drunk and just overweight and just like, it was like, get off me.
It was uncomfortable.
You should be paying me.
I was like, they yell at you for not being more like objectifying.
I mean, it's just
like, look at it, look at what I'm doing. You're like, ah.
Well, it's hard to tip strippers in England because there's no dollar bills. I mean, we have pound coins. It's like you're gonna flick them a coin. It's like hits them in the eye. It's like, you fucking dick.
You put like little stick them to the coin. You like stick.
All right, guys, keep being subscribed to us. Thank you. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Don't unsubscribe.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Peace.
Later, guys.
The good stuff.